So welcome everybody to day 6 of the retreat. Today we are talking sales. Now, I'd love to take the temperature. How do you guys feel about sales? Put a 0 in the chat if even just the word sales is making you kind of go, feel a bit clammy, feel a bit off. And if it is, don't worry, do stick that in the chat. I'd love to know. You're not alone, firstly. Loads of people feel like that. Secondly, we're going to have to do something about this, okay? So it's fine if you find sales and the thought of sales is like, bringing it out a rash. It's okay. Because we've got to start somewhere, but we have got to change that, okay? So that is what we're going to be looking at today. Now, obviously, sales is a massive topic. I cannot cover all of that in 30 to 45 minutes, but I will be giving you some really helpful insights into how you can up your sales game. So I just wanted to say thank you guys, thank you so much for giving up part of your Saturday, whether it's your morning, late in your evening, or your 5 o'clock like it is for me here. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here. Your energy, everybody, through the week has been through the roof. And those of you joining us in the replay, please stick hashtag replay below this video, because I just love seeing who else is catching up later. I really do. Please don't forget, videos go away Monday, 8 p.m. UK time. So yeah, don't miss out. If you need to do some catching up, you've got all weekend for some binge style catch-ups, and I really hope you enjoy it. Now, we've covered so much this week, and like I said, I feel today is another piece of the puzzle, and I can't wait to help you with sales. So by now you should feel much clearer on how to find your clients, as we were talking about yesterday. Know your purpose, know your vision, like where you're going, your niche, and the mindset work that you need to do to make it all happen. Because I think I've mentioned a few times this week that strategy is really, really important, but it really is not everything, okay? You can do all the strategy in the world, but if you have limiting beliefs that people will not pay me that, I can't charge that, I don't deserve to earn that, then you may not even be aware of them until we start doing some digging. If you think there aren't enough clients, if you think you can't do X and Y and Z in your area, you can't do this because of your age, your hair color, your background, anything, I've heard it all, you're going to have to get rid of those beliefs, because no strategy can overcome that. That's what you have to do the mindset work on, okay? And it is possible. Now, I've given you some fantastic tools this week, and I'd love you to use these tools again and again and again. And I really hope you loved hearing from my amazing clients yesterday. Fiona, it was lovely to see them. And Claire, I was thinking of Claire earlier in the pouring rain. I was thinking, I really hope it's better weather for her marathon tomorrow. So I really hope you enjoyed that. And just hearing how they struggled, they got help, and they found a way forward. And it is all possible. You know, they are getting busier and busier. They're doing all the things and enjoying it. And you can do that too. Okay, you really can. Massive thank you to everyone who's already jumped into the Expert Academy Kickstarter. So delighted that you'll be joining us. More and more people joining, which is absolutely fantastic, because the retreat is amazing. But when the videos go, what happens is momentum just dives down a little bit, and action taking falls a bit short, and you don't have that safety net to go to for help. You just don't have that there. And as I said, I'm so happy to be helping more people. This program is so accessible, and that's what I wanted, to be able to help more and more people by Christmas with something that was super doable, super affordable, super accessible. Okay, so we've concluded that the word sales makes people feel a little bit off. I think we had a few zeros. So I just said, if you feel like ooh about sales, stick a 0 in the chat. I said I had a tiny bit of tough love to dish up. You have to make sales. If you are not making sales, you do not have a business. You have basically a charity with a pretty website and a social media page. So you must be making sales. Your business needs an income. Your business needs to be generating a profit as well. And we have to get rid of any negativity, old programming, old beliefs, outdated thoughts that sales is somehow sort of bad, it's greedy. Oh, I don't want to be too pushy. Oh, I don't want to be salesy. And we get that image of certainly UK based, like double glazing salesmen. I'm sure rest of the world, you've got your own stereotypes of really pushy salespeople. We're all like, oh, I don't want to be like that. I get it. And you don't need to be, but you have to be getting money into your business. Otherwise, it is not a business. So, like a snake, you've got an old skin you're going to need to shed around sales, is my thinking. Okay. So, it doesn't matter if you feel at the moment, but just watch this. If you're saying to yourself again and again, oh, I can't sell. I don't know how to sell myself. Or I'm not very good at sales. I'm not a salesperson. Like, you get the gist. I've heard it all before. Like, you have to just change the thinking. You know, we've done some amazing rounds of tapping this week about saying all the negative, like, oh, the thought of sales makes me feel really sick or whatever, and then putting in some good stuff. So it's just get all your negative thoughts about sales out, and then we're going to put in some new things, okay? Because sales, you're not selling double glazing. Like, you are not selling a one-off. And if you feel like you're doing that, then you're making a mistake, because you are building a relationship with clients and potential clients, okay? These people need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you. For some people, that is seeing one Facebook post. For others, it's following everything you do, checking out every single review that's ever been posted about you, checking in with 3 other people that recommend you, then waiting a few months and then booking an appointment. And that is just how some people are. There's people that are like, oh yeah, I want that, bing. And there's people that hover and sit on the fence for ages. And you don't want to waste your energy trying to, drag people off the fence. That's totally the wrong approach. You just want to keep being consistent, keep showing up, because some people will just take longer to convert. That is just a fact, okay? So just don't see it like it's a one-off sale. You're not trying to get people to buy a pair of wellies or something. You want them to book you, yes, but you don't want them to just book you. You want to be part of a team with them. You want them to, you want to be involved with that horse's ongoing care or dog or whatever animal or person, and it to be an ongoing thing. It's just like with a riding instructor. I wouldn't expect somebody to have been like, yeah, just have one lesson and I'll get you back in 6 months. But what? Like, that's not going to make any progress. And it's the same, like, it's all about setting expectations and setting the intention and energy of what you want. Now, I know so many practitioners feel like they have to resell themselves and the concept of what they do each time they do a treatment. Does anybody feel like that? Like, feel free to put a 1 in the chat. Feel like, oh yes, that's me. So somebody books you, you're out on, I don't know, Tuesday, you go and see this horse, and then you're like, oh, will they have me back? Like, have I got to like try and convince them? No, what I personally think you should be doing is, from the word go, explaining that how you operate, you work together with the owner, with the vet, the farrier, saddler, the rest of it, and you see horses or dogs or people on X. What is the average cycle you tend to see them? I'm thinking for most horses, 8 weeks would be quite good. Now, I know lots of people say, oh yeah, just maintenance like twice a year or something. And is that your projection of what you think clients want? Or is that what clients truly want? Is that actually what the horse needs as well? Because I think so many therapists are so terrified of people going, no, I don't want that they downgrade what they think should happen. So they think that they should see the horse, I don't know, 6 times a year, and then they'll go, yeah, 2 or 3 times, that would be okay. Because they don't want to hear no. And that's just not right. Like, we have to be in integrity with everything of our business. So you've just got to be really clear with people and get, upfront about what you think should happen for that horse, dog, person. Okay, is that making sense to everybody? Because I really feel there's just a bit of a block around feeling like you're having to kind of convince people each time that they need you back. You should be like the farrier, right? that was great. Okay, what we're going to be doing next time is I need to come back in X weeks, 8 weeks, for example. I want to make sure that I know that tight spot in her neck isn't bad. I want to help you get ready for X, Y, and Z, whatever. And I think it's really, really important that you're seeing it with that energy, not like, yeah, okay, thanks. Like, just let me know if you think you need another session. Spin it around, flip it on its head for sure. Okay, workbooks. Right. Clarity is our first step, as ever. Let's get clear. Now, you might think when you look at this bit, of course I know what I sell in my business. Do you? Like, let's get super clear. Page, I just said chapter. We don't have chapters on the workbook. Page 60. What do you sell in your business? Now, for some of you, this might just be one word answer, but for others, you may have multiple offerings, or you may want to have multiple offerings, and sometimes it is quite confusing to clients. You know, like, what is it that you want people to take action on? Is it that you want to book a one-off session? Is it that you want to book packages? Is it that you want to book them like every 8 weeks? Is it that you do horses? Is it that you do horses and riders? Is it that you do horses and riders and dogs? Do you do all those things but only want to do horses? Like, get really clear on exactly what it is you're selling, okay? So rather than just write down horse treatment or something, like, try and actually use some words that clients would use. What sort of language that they would use? You know, do they call it a session? Do they call it treatment? What is the wording that they use? Does that make sense to everybody? So just get really clear on what you sell. It's fine if it's only one thing. If it's multiple things, no problem. Just jot it all down, because I find sometimes when people have more, like, multiple offers, it can get muddly. And do you have different prices for things? So again, quite often I find, well, if I go this many miles and there's this many horses, it costs this. If it's this, it's this. It gets so confusing. And when I look on websites and I just think, oh, I've just got a headache reading this, I'm not going to take any action. And although I see the benefits of giving a discount if there's multiple horses in one place, I really do. As somebody that's just got one horse, and I don't even have a whole horse, I have half a horse, I have one borrowed horse. That really puts me off, because I feel, why have I got to pay more? And of course I understand why, but why don't you just have the price the same and maybe offer like that you just do like a yard visit? Because to me, that's a totally different thing. Like, I feel like I should be able to get like 2 people together or 3 people together, and it would just be a pain. You know, if I want something done, I want it done. I don't want to try and like arrange other people. So that's something that I personally, when I see on websites, I find really off-putting. I've just, you know, I appreciate why it's beneficial to you guys to have multiple horses in one place. But it really hits on the one horse person. It just makes me feel like I'm getting a really crappy deal. So I think that is worth considering. You know, why don't you just get people to just pay the same? And maybe there's, I don't know, some other bonus or incentive you can offer. If people do, you know, for a future visit, if you find that there could be loads of horses, you could do like a yard day. Something to really think about, okay? I hope that makes sense to everybody. Let me just hop into the chat. I saw a comment pop up. Oh, I love that, spa treatments. Yeah, I really like that. I think some people some owners do think when their horse is having a treatment, particularly with massage, that it's just like a treat. And I think it's really important that we are making sure people realize that this is necessary stuff, not like, although it does, I can see why people would call it a spa treatment. It's necessary treatments, as opposed to just like, oh, well, you know, it's just a treat, and if it happens once a year, it's the horse's Christmas present or something. I think we need to make sure that people are aware that we need to keep these animals comfortable. Okay, so we know what we're selling, yeah? Is this coming across in your content, in your website? And are there clear calls to action about what to do? So you sell dog physiotherapy treatments. Okay, fab. is this really clear in all of your content? If I jumped, Rachel, let's use you as an example. I hope you don't mind. If I jumped onto your social, I jumped onto your website, would that be crystal clear that that is what you do? You've pulled a really funny face, so I'm thinking maybe not 110%, but it's something to really think about. Like it, yes, no, I'm not saying every single bit of content you put out there should be buy. No, of course not. But it all, like all roads need to lead to this is what I do. So particularly on your website, it does need to be really, really clear that this is what the offer is. And again, it can just, everyone can just get so general and things can get really diluted. And we need to make sure we've got some clear calls to action in content. And we're talking about the client journey in a little minute, but that is a really interesting question for you guys. Do you actually ask for the sale in content on your website? Is it like super clear how to get booked up? Because if it's like, you can email me, you can text me, you can WhatsApp me, you can do this and this and this, people don't take action. They really don't.
No, come
Our two little guests pop in, but they're gone now in their onesies. Okay, so calls to action, really, really important. You need to be asking for the sale. You need to be really clear how people book. If you were to jump onto your website, onto your social, is it? Because again, something I see on lots of websites is it's vague. Like, do I message you? Do I go to your Instagram? Do I call you? Do I email you? Do I text you? Like, I understand why it seems logical to give multiple ways to get hold of somebody. I get that. But you do need to be giving some quite clear directions as to the next steps. I'll talk about this a bit more in customer journey, but I just think a bit of auditing is quite necessary. Okay, so we know what you're going to sell. And I would love you to just visit your content, your website, your social, and make sure it's clear, because it may be crystal clear in your head, but it needs to be really clear to people landing on your website, so that, you know, in your socials, that they can make sense. Okay, brilliant. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. Okay, structuring your offerings. Now, you may have heard me talk about this before, but I really believe that everybody should have their kind of mid-ticket, you know, your bread and butter, your in-person treatments, and I really feel like you should have a high ticket offer as well. And when I say a high ticket offer, I mean something that takes up more of your time and costs significantly more money. The reason I think you should do that is because there will be some people that want more help. There always will be. There will be some people that will want the next level. They'll want the VIP experience. However you word it, they will always want more. That's not everybody, of course, but there will always be some people. Think to any big horse show you go to, Badminton, Windsor in this country. You can get regular tickets. You can get members or VIP tickets. There's not that many of them. Exclusivities are in this. You pay considerably more and you get a much better experience. And that suits some people. Other people, they just want to be here. It's fine. Without having that higher level ticket, you can't help people on a deeper level. You can't let them pay you more money. And you really are sort of turning away potential sales. Now, until you put something out into the world, out there, you can't know how many people need that necessarily. But when you get behind something like that and you become comfortable with it and start offering to more people, it's amazing how many people actually could be just what they need. Like rehab is a great example for those who do rehab, which is a lot of you. If somebody could say to me, either I will like support and coach you through the rehab period, because vets are great, but vets are just like, yeah, do your walking, yeah, call me back in 3 weeks, and you're just like, what do I do now? Not just like, what do I do in the how do I literally manage this, but how do I cope? Like, it's really hard going. So that's something I see as a really great resource. So helping me through rehab, supporting me, and that can be done at a distance, or even better for me, I'll come and do it for you. Like I call that like a DIY rehab, done for you rehab. So many people need help with rehab. It's massively overwhelming. It's really scary. You feel like I've got one chance. I cannot get this wrong. Why would you not offer to help people more? The reason people don't have high ticket offers is because their own money blocks are holding them back. They are projecting onto potential clients. They're like, people won't want that. Oh, there's no way someone's going to pay that for that. How do you honestly know that? You don't. You're just putting your own fears and money issues and projecting it out back. So I think a high ticket offer is so important. It allows those people that want that to say yes. It really gets you over some of your money fears and money blocks when you're putting something like that together. And it makes your bread and butter offering seem even better value. So what could you do? Go back to who are your clients and what are their problems? What do they need from you? Now, I've talked before about one of my clients, Jess, who did the Expert Academy last year, and she was relatively newly qualified, didn't have any clients, and she's flying, but she loves doing groundwork, and she really enjoys doing some writing for people, and I think she does a bit of teaching as well. And one of the things we worked on was mapping out a weekly or fortnightly package, because as far as I'm concerned, as a coach, as a writing coach, people pretty much 9.9 times out of 10 want a weekly lesson. Yeah. So I totally see the merits in, and as an owner rider as well, just knowing that, I don't know, 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, this is what happens. This is, Sophie, whoever, she comes. And if you've got multiple things you could do, how lovely to just know that slot was booked. Some of those sessions could be treatments, massages, physio sessions, whatever. Some could be groundwork, some could be teaching, but how nice to know that either weekly or twice a month, if that worked better for the client and for you, that slot is yours, and your horse is going to be getting, and you, some help. And that's not going to be for everybody, that package, but there will be people that would suit. Is this making sense to everybody? Is everybody being like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I could do something, yeah? So think of your clients, think what their problems are, think what they need, and let's get a few details down. So why would someone, let's use that example of like a weekly or a fortnightly visit from one of your clients. So it's not always going to be a treatment, but some of it might be working the horse on the ground, some of it might be showing me some exercises, some of it might be like reviewing me and the horse, working on our training, if that is within your levels of competency and enjoyment, of course, I think that would be fab. So why would I need that? Because the wheels fall off really of horses without regular input. How nice to know that we're working together. If your physio or massage person is able to help train you in the horse, I think that's such a positive. I really do. There are many instructors who really do not have an amazing understanding of how a horse moves. You'd think they would, but I have to say, after my many years of involvement in teaching and training horses, it astounds me how many people are just like, oh, put its head in and give it a kick. And I'm just like, oh, I just wince at those kind of words. So yeah, I think that's a real beneficial session. So what transformations is the next question, would it offer? So using my example of, regular sessions, actually, Lena, this would be something, you're an instructor, this would be something that would be great for you to be able to offer. Some of it's teaching, some of it's treating. I think it'd be fab. So for me, as the recipient, as your client, I'll be like, oh, what a relief. Whew, pressure is off. If you're able to ride the horse occasionally, if I can't make Wednesday at 11, doesn't matter. The horse is still going to get in. If it's raining like it is here today, I'll be like, you have a go today. Yeah, I'll just watch from the from the dry corner. Yeah, the pressure's off. It would help me make progress, and it would enable me to be 100% confident that the horse is comfortable whilst we're doing some training. So I'd feel like it's like a one-stop shop, you know. I'll be like, great, I don't have to do anything else. Just pitch up every week, every fortnight, whatever. That would be a fab option for me. That would really help me. That's all making sense. So the other thing to think with anything you're putting together, say what are the results it gives, and what can I now do that I couldn't before? So when I ask that question to people, they tend to just tell me what's included. So I'm not saying, what do I get? Because I get what I get. I get a session every week. Okay, I get that. What can I now do? Well, I'm going to be making better progress. Faster progress, better results. My horse will probably look in a radically different shape. If you work on humans, I'll probably look different as well. I'll be moving better. I'll have a better understanding of my horse. I'll probably have increased knowledge. And I think my horse will probably be feeling a lot more comfortable. So yeah, high ticket offers. How are we getting on? Put a 1 in the chat if you've got something like sketched out and you're feeling like, yeah, okay, I can see something like this could come to life. Yay! Let's see some more ones. There was a flurry of ones, which is great. But honestly, the only reason people don't do this is because they're like, I can't charge that. People would be paying for that. You would be surprised. You really would. If you did my last retreat, you heard from Kat, and I'll see if I can find her amazing testimonial and stick it in the group, where she is talking about the high ticket offer that we worked on together and how to hit her first goal, her like initial goal for 2020, for 2021. She now needs like something like 8 clients. You know, she sketched this out with me in the spring, May time maybe. I think after she'd finished the Expo Academy, possibly June. And I think she's already got 3 or 4 clients. So she's like almost halfway there, which is amazing because actually she's really busy at the moment and she can only, you know, she's got quite limited time for that side of her business because she's really busy doing some training. But just, yeah, great way of doing things because she's got a much, much higher ticket offer and she just feels so aligned with it. And she just less stressed. It's great to see. Okay, let's just dive into chat. How does it work best? Really, Jen, that's a great question. I think it really depends on what you're thinking of putting out there. So let's use my example of treating and training. I personally would be asking people for a monthly payment that covers those sessions. You do need to make sure that you are being really sensible about when the payments happen. And I think that would probably appeal really nicely to people like a monthly direct debit, like the gym, like the phone, cars. A lot of people pay for cars monthly. I think that would work really, really well. Yeah, when I said be a bit sensible about payments, just make sure that if people are, say, paying monthly for something for a set number of sessions across the year, that they aren't trying to be a bit cheeky and go, oh, actually, can you come back again? So I get that number of sessions and the payments aren't being spread out. So they need to have paid before they go for something. Yeah, and you don't obviously want someone to have 4 sessions and be like, yeah, I pay at the end of the month, and then that doesn't happen. So just have a bit of a sense checking on that. But yeah, I would be more than happy to pay monthly for something like that. And the bonus of doing that, and you know, I love treat and train as an idea, if that works for your skill set, or treat and train, treat and ride, whatever it is sometimes maybe the horse would need 3 treatments a month, and sometimes they would need none. And you've got that ultimate flexibility. So I think that's brilliant. I really do. Okay, let's talk about selling a bit more. So if we've got some clarity, we've got something else we can put out there into the world, and please take the action and do it. I'm going to talk now a little bit, I'm going to go a bit to the dark side on where I feel people go wrong. The reason I want to do this is not that I'm shaming anybody or calling anybody out, is because rather than just give you this whole list of things, oh, you should do this, I'm just going to go with where I think people are missing the trick. And I think that you can then unpack what you already have, unpick it, and see what else you can add in. Okay, so you've got your checklist. So feel free to scribble any notes down as well. We're on page 17. Offering only one service. Like I've just mentioned how I think having a high ticket is absolutely essential. So only offering one thing. Think of a wine list. People will go, they'll scan it and they'll be like, well, where are the cheap stuff? Then they'll look at the other end and they'll be like, what? How much for a bottle of wine? And they'll go with something in the middle. And that's often what people will do with other aspects of their life. They'll look to the top and be like, well, I don't think I can stretch that. They'll go with the middle. But if you've only got the middle option, people just don't have any way to kind of compare. And we, sales psychology, we like 3 options ideally, and we tend to pick the middle. So I think that's a mistake people make. It's only offering one thing. Another mistake is that people offer 300 things, or it's just too, like, the messaging is just not clear. Like I said, if it's in this place, it's this price. If it's here, it's here. It's fine to be having a price for mileage. It's fine to be like, right, if it's within X radius, it costs a little bit more. That's absolutely fine. But just have like maybe 2 things. So it's either this price or it's this price plus mileage, because honestly, the number of websites I've looked at, I've just thought, I've just got a headache. Like, I can't figure this out. I'm not going to make a booking, am I? Like, if I've left feeling confused, I've left. I haven't contacted you to just find out more. Okay, number 2. Big mistake is people just aren't asking for the sale. Like, when was the last time you said to somebody, so, would you like to book a session? Do you ever say that to anybody? If you did, were you like, so, do you want to book a session? Like, it's absolutely fine to be asking for the sale, except you will always hear some no's. That's not to be negative. That is just life. Imagine if you said yes to every single thing you have coming across your path. Every bit of advertising you see on the television, online, on Facebook, or wherever else, bit of junk mail. I know pizza. We also seem to give pizza leaflets. Don't really like takeaway pizza. And if you said yes to every single thing, every email that pops in, buy this, buy this. I mean, judged by my emails, I'd be drowning in plants. There seem to get a lot of emails about plants. And you would just be bankrupt, but also you'd have no time or like mental bandwidth. So we all say no all the time. You will hear no, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't ask, because don't ask, don't get. Because you will hear some no's, but you will also hear yeses. But the problem is people ask, hear one no, and give up. Why do you hear no, and what does no mean is really important. It's down to you to either investigate or reframe the no's, because in my experience, no means a couple of things. No, I can't afford it and I'm too embarrassed to say. So I just say no, or I don't bother answering. Why not just say, that's not for me right now, or I don't want to invest right now, or just be honest and say, I've had a massive debt spell. I haven't got the money to pay for that right now. So that's why you hear one no you hear. Another no is I don't understand the offer, so I can't be bothered to ask more information, so I'll just sort of sidestep out of it. So there's the no, I can't afford it, there's the confused no, and there's the no, it's not for me right now. Now that to me is not a no. Like, if you said to somebody, I've got a space on Tuesday, I'm near your area, would you like that? I might just go, oh, no thanks. What I maybe actually meant was, I don't think I can pack it in on Tuesday, I don't understand how long the session is, all this stuff, which is right, oh, no, don't worry. Because then it starts to seem like a hassle. That whole back and forth business can be quite exhausting. So you're going to hear no. It's down to you how you hear the no. No does not mean, no, I think you're rubbish. No, why on earth would I want you to treat my horse or my dog? There's so much behind no's, but we make it mean something else. So you've got to ask for the sale. We talked on day 3 about how to structure a pitch. And there's so many ways that you can talk about what you do in your content. I call this like consideration content, because in my experience, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah, fair enough. And not everybody is going to ask for the information they need to make a decision. Does that make sense? So I'll give you an example. I have a conference that runs sort of early winter time. It's in a few weeks. It's the 20th of November this year. And I produce loads of content that is reasons you should join the conference, common concerns about joining the conference, who the conference is for, who the conference isn't for. because people always ask the same questions. And if people are asking questions, probably most people have got those questions, and you need to have this stuff out there. So people always ask, like, it's online as it was last year, it's online again this year. People will always ask this: what's included? Is it recorded? How long are the recordings available for? Is it CPD for insert name of organisation? Can I pay in 2 installments? That's a popular one as well. There's all these questions that people have, and having that kind of content means that say 10% of people, 20% of people will pop you a message with their question. It's a strong chance that the other 80% have similar questions, they just don't bother to ask them. So having that sort of content, answering the questions that people don't necessarily know they have, is really, really important. Because it might be that I didn't book a session with one of you guys because I didn't understand how long it was. I didn't know when I had to pay. Like, and we'll talk about the customer journey in a second, but there's just muddly stuff. If I'm muddled, I take no action. And that's just not me. That's everybody. Okay. If we don't know our next step, we don't always bother to find out. We're so bombarded with stuff these days, and we just don't take any action. So yeah, it could be, how do I book? It could be, do I need to be there? Do you need to speak to my vet? Does my horse need to be X, Y, or Z? You know, does it need to be in? Does it need to be brushed? Does it need, you know, I know that seems really obvious, but it's amazing how it's not always. What happens on the day? I think that's great content. What happens afterwards? Can I ride? Can I not ride? Do you give me homework? Do you give me exercise? Do you tell my vet? Do you not tell my vet? Does it affect my insurance? Oh, it's exhausting, isn't it, thinking all these things? But you have to have this covered. And how tiring to just be constantly writing the same messages, telling people this. It's so much better if you have this out as content, and then you can, when someone says, oh, I just need to know what, you can direct them to the information that's already in existence, so that they can just see it much easier. Like, it saves you so much time rather than writing the same responses again and again and again. Let's just dive into some chats. I've just done some numbers for a high ticket offer. It seems a wildly high figure. Am I better off thinking it would be a regular client and therefore should ask slightly less than the sum of the package parts? Price based on time, maybe do it on value. Oh, I'd love to know what the wildly high number was. I think you're going to have to share that, Jen, and let me know. So why should you discount it? Is it because you're not comfortable asking that amount of money? Is it because you don't think people will pay it? I don't know why you should discount it because they're having more. I don't, like, if I went and fill up my car with a whole tank of diesel, they don't go, oh, thanks for not just having half, we'll knock a bit off. You know, if I go shopping, and I went to a lovely tack shop the other day. If I bought 4 numbness, I wouldn't have got a discount. They're just 4 numbness, that's the price. So it would be, that'd be crazy. Under £100 a week, it feels like a lot, but it's probably not. What is it you're doing for £100 a week? Oh, that's what I want to know. Like, if it's something like done for you rehab, like, personally, I don't think that's a crazy amount of money at all. If it's saving me time, if I'm seeing the value, I don't see why that's sort of such a crazy amount. It really depends what's included, what you're offering. Add in more value rather than chop the price down. What else could you add in? You've got to give me more information, Jan. I want to know. Add in more value if you don't feel like the price is, to make yourself perhaps feel more comfortable with the price. It's a better way of wording it. But you have to be aligned with the price, because if you're like, oh, £100 a week, no one's going to buy it. If it was £10 a week and you're like, oh, £10 a week, no one's going to buy it either. So you've got to be 110% happy and aligned with the pricing. But yeah, give me some more information, Jan. I'd love to know what's included. But I think the best way to go is work out what the price needs to be and what you want to charge. And then if you're a bit like, oh, I don't know, add in more value. Think what else you can add in. Okay, so we need to be offering more than one thing. We need to be asking for a sale, pitching, accepting no's, but reframing them. Customer journey. Okay, I did some training for my lovely mastermind clients on this the other week, and it was really popular. So you need to be able to walk through, trace it back, how you get people or how people move from, hey, pop me a message. I see, like, could you drink my horse? You cover my area, or just that kind of vague inquiry into not just booking, but into a raving fan. You see the horse every 8 weeks, every 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. How does that happen? So I feel so many people are losing out on sales because they don't really have this. They don't have a clear customer journey. They don't have this set up. So what happens? Somebody pops a message. Yeah, you respond. And I'm not saying you should be sitting on your phone or attach your laptop 24/7. What's some response? A good response so fast? Not at all. Okay. It's so important that you have time off from your business and you don't stare at your phone first thing and last thing, particularly at night. It's really important. So I do not think you should be pressurizing yourself to reply to people instantly at all. Okay, if someone can't wait a short bit of time, then they are not a dream customer at all. You're not running an emergency service. You're not, they're not calling up because the horse got colic and they need to get the vet out right away. That's a different matter. Okay, they can wait a little bit, right? I think that's really important. So many practitioners feel under so much pressure. I've got to reply all the time so fast. I reply to people like 10 o'clock at night. Like, it's crazy. So what do you do then? What happens next? Because this is where so many people go wrong, is they don't follow up. Do you? Put an F in the chat if you do go back to people who've inquired more than once and be like, hey, do you have any more questions? Do you have, do you need any more information? How is the horse? Let me know if I can help at all, or words to, whatever word you want to use. Do you follow up? You do, but only once. Well, Rachel, you're ahead of the pack because once is better than nothing, but you need to be doing more than that. Yeah, because follow up is so, so important. And how you see follow up is essential. You should see following up as a service and providing an amazing service. Okay, not being like pushy and desperate or whatever wording you might want to use. So for me, follow-up is help. Yeah. So use me as an example. I've asked about booking and I do inquire about stuff, so for today we were out at this rally and the normal horse box is just gone for plating. So I was like, oh crap, I need to get a horse box. These are going to hire a little lorry. I inquired with a couple of people. I think I mentioned this over the week. One person was like, yeah, just pay me. And one person asked what I was doing. And I was like, oh, I much prefer you. And because I'm busy, I was like, yeah, great. Yeah, I'll send a deposit. I just totally forgot about it. And he sent me a message going, all okay, yeah, shall I keep the lorry for Saturday? I was like, oh yes, thank you so much for reminding me. I didn't think, oh my God, he's so pushy. I was like, thank goodness he reminded me and I didn't lose my booking. It was helpful that he gave me a nudge because it just dropped off my priority. Because what happens when I don't book something or I don't take that next step in my life, and this will not just be me, this is very particular to me, but in my life, I'm just about to do something and then maybe my 2-year-old has run in and said, please, go listen to Peppa Pig. And I was just trying to do it on my phone and I'll be like, okay. The cat's always bringing mice in, like alive mice, and they run around. Everything stops for that. Quite often I'm into something and then I'm like, oh my goodness, I've literally got to sprint around the corner to school. I'm already 10 minutes late to go ride the horse or whatever it is. There's always something else coming up. And never do I think, oh, actually, I asked about that, but I didn't want to do it because that person just looked rubbish. It just drops off my list. Whereas when you're sitting there and you haven't heard back from somebody, you're like, I didn't think it was, they didn't want me, they've already chosen somebody else. And if you just actually think how busy most people are, that's never the reason. It really isn't. So following up is simply reminding people that they needed your help and do they need more information and how are they doing, okay? So I'd love everyone to commit to building out like a better customer journey. So thinking, okay, I follow up with people ideally 1 to 2 days later, and then I follow up with them, I don't know, 3 or 4 days later. And it's okay if people say no, but then at least you know. And as I said, that to me is not being pushy. That's not being, that doesn't make me feel uncomfortable as the client. If someone has just sent me a couple of messages saying, how you doing? Just a reminder, I'm in your area next week. Would Wednesday be a good day? I could do that. As I said, to me, it's helpful. To me, it's a nice gesture. We'll all be familiar with retargeting ads. Like you visit a website, Wellies, like I'm looking for some new Wellies at the moment. Wellies are top of my mind. And then I'll go on a Wellie website, I cannot find what I want. And then I go on Facebook or something, bing, there's a Wellie advert. You're being retargeted. And you can see retargeting as like spammy or whatever you want to call it. But to me, it's just like a reminder. It's like you're kind of being like a manual Facebook ad in that response by reminding people. And like I said, I see it as a real positive, okay? So you need to have a way of keeping in touch with your existing clients and those people that didn't quite make it as clients. So the customer journey is really, really critical. One thing that you could all do, which is so good for your business, Vicky, you'll already have this in place, is get a list of people who didn't book. Yeah, those people that they nearly booked, they didn't book, and find a way of keeping in touch with them. You don't need to be messaging them like every single day, but you do need a way of keeping in touch with people. So I think that is really, really, really important. Okay. And you know what? It's okay to say to people, do you want to book? Like, do you still want a session? Do you still feel you need my help? Because there'll be some people that are just total time wasters. And actually, if I say to somebody, like I used to do this when I was running courses in person, people were doing quite loads of times at the same course. I'm like, I'm back again in this area. Are you still interested in coming on a course? Could you let me know with a yes or a no? The number of people that reply when you actually ask a direct question. If you directly say, please let me know yes or no if you still want this. It doesn't matter if they can't do that particular date you're talking about, but if they're just like, no, actually, I don't. I'm like, great, okay, no problem at all. Strike them off the list. It's done. So you need that list of current clients, lapsed clients, because you need a way of, maintaining some relationship with them, checking in with them, and those almost clients. So whether it's emails, messages, WhatsApp, whatever, you need to have this happening in your business because you're missing a trick otherwise. Okay. Number 4, unattached to the outcome. Now, I've mentioned this many times, I think, already this week, but so many people are so like, oh, I've got to have this number of clients, got to have this number of, it's not enough. And when you can feel like in that state of lack, or when you can feel that sort of desperate state, it just comes through. It screams through everything you put out there. So you need to be really like, kind of like release each sale, if that makes sense. So it's easy to just be like, oh my God, that person's got to book, that inquiry, they've got to book. When you hold on to something that tightly, it just never happens. So just be a little bit, release it, I think, less attached. And then, of course, money blocks, number 5. If you're projecting your own fears and old programming about money onto your clients, well, that's what's going to happen. Too often people are making decisions on behalf of their clients. It is not our job to say what people can and can't, will and won't book straight forward, okay? You don't have someone's card details, bank statements. You don't know. Like people make some funny choices, in my opinion, around money, and it's not our job to judge or decide what people will and won't spend their money on. It's our job is to help horses, and it's up to, and we can present that in several ways, and it's up to people whether they want to do that or not. But it's so often we just decide for people. So you're starting to think high ticket offers, and I bet some of you will be thinking, oh yeah, but so and so, they would never go for that. Now, unless this person has said to you, oh my goodness, like I'm overdue on my mortgage, like I'm going to sell the house, I've got no money, like they are clearly stating finance is not in a good place, that's fine. How on earth do you know what the other people do and don't want to do? Like I said, that is not our place. That's not our job to decipher other people. And too often it's your own money blocks that are stopping you from asking for the sale, for just that fear of people saying no to a certain price that is holding everybody back. Okay, so that's a good checklist for you on sales. Other thing I wanted to talk about is objections. So I've said people have questions, I've said people will say no, but you need to be able to handle objections within your marketing, like that consideration content I was just talking about, but also in person or in a message. So kind of in person online. And I would love you guys to have a little quick practice of this. So what objections do people have? Shove them in the chat. What do you think people worry about with your service? What maybe makes them say no, or maybe leaves them on the fence? What are they worried about? Okay, tell me in the chat what you think, and then let's map out some potential answers. Okay, what have we got? Follow up, lots. Oh, good for you, Romy. That's brilliant. Tons of pushy clients, 8 a.m. sessions. Now that's interesting, actually. So to me, like an 8 a.m. session would be really, really helpful. And to me, that is something that if you don't, there's obviously only one 8 a.m. each day. If you want to do 8 a.m. sessions, rather than see those clients as pushy, go, well, that's my high ticket offer, staring me in the face. So if you want a 7 o'clock or an 8 o'clock appointment and you're happy to do it at that time, they pay more. Like if you go to the gym, if you pay for a gym and you want to go between, I don't know, 10 and 4 or something like that, it's much cheaper. If you want to go at those peak hours, it costs more. Same with the train, same with many things. So why would it not be the same with you? So rather than see those clients around me as pushy, go, yeah, if you want to, I do 7 a.m., I do 8 a.m., I do 7 p.m., I do 9 p.m., whatever works for you. But that is a different tier price. Yeah? Because if people want it, that would work for me. You must have all heard me talk about this time we totally ran out of cat food. Oh God, I felt really bad. And I was just like, yeah, I don't care what it costs. Like I need it at 6 o'clock in the morning. And actually the Ocado delivery, you can do that. And you just pay for an hour time slot. I think it was like £6 more. And it made me feel better because we totally ran out and I felt really bad. But people pay for convenience. People pay to get what they want, basically. So if people want 8 a.m. sessions, do it, but ask them to pay for that. So lots of I follow up only onces. So you're gonna improve that. Add it in your improvements box. Yeah, I so agree, Rachel. It's so easy to forget things, but then as the person that's been forgotten, we make it mean a whole nother story, don't we? I've had lots of clients just ignore my messages, demeaning, I'm taking too personally. No, there's a line, definitely, where, yeah, you don't want to be sending like 20 messages and they haven't responded to a single one. Are they reading them? Or are they literally just ignoring them? Because I mean, quite often I would easily not reply to maybe 3 messages. I might have looked at them, and sometimes I'm reading them on like a preview, and you can't see I've read them. But just I've read it, I just haven't sort of got to that next step. So I wouldn't take it personally, but there's a line. I think you're gonna feel the energy where someone's just like, nah, not remotely interested. And you can ask people, would you like me to, do you want to stay in touch? Would you like me to remind you about an appointment? Yes or no. Would you like me to take you off my client list? Yes or no. And the people that don't want to know will be very fast to tell you. They really will. So just be more direct and ask, do you want to hear about this? Do you still want my help with your horse? Is your horse still suffering with blah, 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 blah? And do you want my help? Just be a bit more direct and find out for sure. Do they need to be present at, brilliant. Right, is this an objection? Sorry, my chat's just gone frozen. Do they need to be, do they need to be present at every session? Yes, that is a great question. And that is a question I would ask, because I'd be thinking, amazing, if I can get the horse treated and I have to stay, perfect, because it opens up a different time window. that there'll be no instant results after my visit. So that is an objection you feel, Louisa, that people ask. They need to be present every session, reading and ignoring. Well, Romy, if they're reading and ignoring, just ask them, do you want my help still? You still interested? Do you want me to take off my list? Like, be direct and ask them. So, okay, Lauren, people finding you got some objections. Are people definitely saying this, or do you feel that they're going to say this? So money. And what is their objection around money? Are they saying, I don't have the money? Are they saying it's too expensive? What are they saying? Finding it hard to fit physically in with clinics and competitions if they need a day off after. Okay, present a solution to that. So like, what is a way that you could assist with that? You know, could you treat the horse straight after a competition, for example, or the next day? Because even busy riders need to give the horses some days off. So how can you fit in with their schedule and the horse's training, so in a way that works? Okay, so we've got some objections, great ones. Other ones I thought of, will it work? My horse is too old, too young, too retired, too whatever, too hairy, too cobby. People will always have something like that. My friend says I should insert whatever. I don't compete. Or the opposite, like Lauren was just saying, I've got a show coming up. Well, I don't know if I can fit in. Actually, you've got a show coming up. That's the exact reason you need some help either before or after. It just needs planning. It's just like planning the jumping sessions in if you're eventing. Like, it's doable. You just need a bit of planning to go. Okay, so who feels like they could respond to some of these objections? Because what I'd love to do is give you guys 5 minutes in some breakout rooms, and one person ask the objection, one person answer it, and swap around. Okay, so for example, like if someone's saying, oh, is it worth the money? You know, to me, the answer would be, it's all about preventing things from escalating. It's all about keeping your horse comfortable. Because if you've got a sore back as a human, you can change things. You can change your environment. You can change how you exercise or don't exercise. You can change your chair or your bed or whatever's uncomfortable. You can make some changes, but your horse can't talk. They'll just put up with something like a sore back. Some will put up with it for a really long time, and then either their behavior is going to drastically change, or something else will go wrong. Something else will break because of their, you know, really compensating for that sore back. And that's what, you know, that's the whole point of having regular sessions, is to not let that happen. So is it worth the money? Well, yes. I think that spells it out quite nicely. So are we ready? Are we ready to hop into some breakout rooms? If I open up some rooms, I know I didn't go as easy as I thought it would the other day. Create. Oh, I can do it automatically. Oh, that's clever. How many people got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we want 3 rooms. Let's see how that goes. This should do it automatically. Mary's changed it after I got in a muddle with it the other day. If you've got, okay, so in room 1, we've got Lauren, Lena, and Louisa. Room 2, we've got Crystal and Rachel. Room 3, we've got Romy and Vicky. I'll open the rooms, just click yes to invite, and we should be good. So person with the darkest hair can start today. And so that's what I'd like you to do. Just take it in turns. One person give their objection, get someone else to say the objection, and then answer them, okay? And then I'll give you literally just 2 minutes per person, and then you can swap around. So 2 minutes, and then I'll get you guys to swap. Okay. Okay, well done. It's great to be doing this, because why practice on clients? You know, people might be asking, do you do a discount? You know, I think it's a great one to have practice. So really great to get that out there. Okay, guys, if you've got any questions, sales related, as I said, I wanted to touch on some of the things I see that people could easily improve, and to just, give a little kind, tough love about what you do need to expect with sales. You need to be making sales 100%, and you will hear no, and this is not the end of the world. We all say no all the time. It's up to you how you take it. It really, really is. Okay, guys, this has been a great session. Final thing I wanted to just talk about quickly. We've already talked about the Kickstarter program, the Expert Academy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the fear of investing and saying yes to yourself, because I've been there. It's really scary. That first investment, Fiona and Claire are both saying the same. That first investment is really, really scary. The first business coach I signed up to work for, it felt like a chunky, punchy investment. She was really kind and spread it over 9 months. And I can remember very clearly, it was £338 every month for 9 months. I was terrified. There's no other word for it. I really was. I was like, what have I done? Will I make my money back? I made the whole investment back, I think, in the first month. I really did. I was so focused on, what if it doesn't work for me? And it's so easy to just be so negative. As I said, once you get out of your own way, it's amazing. When you make an investment, you change, because you have to then take it seriously. You show up and do the work. Like the expression, those who pay attention, really is true. It so is, because when you said yes to you and your business and made an investment, it's scary because it's real. Like, that's it. Your business is a business. You're not kind of playing at this now. And you've kind of put your hand up and said, yeah, I want to take this more seriously. I want to take this to the next level, whatever that looks like for you. And that can feel terrifying. I totally get that. So just wanted to talk a bit about, as I said, investing, because you need to make investments in your business. You really, really do. And I've been there. I've been sat on the fence for so long, and I missed out on some great opportunities because I just felt frightened. And that is why I'm launching a Kickstarter right now, because I want to help as many people as possible. I want it to be as unscary as possible. The investment is doable. It's 2 horses a month to pay it back. It will make a massive difference to you. It really, really will. You can get so stuck in business. I've been there. Trying to do it all on your own is really, really hard. It really is. And you can get really like shiny object syndrome, flitting from one thing to the next. You can get stuck with just trying to get it all from YouTube videos or something, and you just don't make that progress. Free stuff is brilliant, but sometimes when you're just trying to work on free stuff, it relies on you having to take action yourself, which we don't all do. And some people don't give all of their teachings in their free content. Now, that's not what I do. I taught you guys what I do for my clients. You've had a taste of what it's like working with me. The retreat on its own will make a massive difference. But imagine having like 2 more months of help afterwards. It's going to make such a bigger difference. It's like if I took the horse to a riding clinic, like a lesson every day for a week, I'll be flying. That next week afterwards, I'll be like, yeah, I've got this. Then I'll hit some kind of stumbling block, because that's just life. I won't have that safety net. I won't have my trainer there to be like, oh, well, you could try it like this. Or actually, you've got your shoulder the wrong way, or your inside leg's not in the right place. Did you forget you were gone back to slumping, or whatever she was picking up the other day? Imagine having the clinic, the week clinic, and then having a weekly lesson for 8 weeks afterwards. Imagine where you and your horse would be by Christmas. And it's just the same with your business. With the riding lessons, you'd be so much more solid. Like, you'd have heard these concepts, you'd have practiced them, and you'd have consolidated them. If you'd got unstuck, you could pick it up in your next lesson. And that's exactly the same you should be getting in the Expert Academy Kickstarter. It really is like riding lessons for your business, I think, is the best way to explain it. And it's okay to know that you need some help. It's okay that you don't know all the business stuff, or you are a bit stuck with confidence or limiting beliefs. It really is. Like, I get help with as many things as I possibly can. I either get someone else to do them, or I get someone to, if I don't know how to do it and I don't know how to do it well, then I get somebody to assist me, because I want to do a better job of things. That's with riding, with working out, with business as well. And you don't have to be alone. Like, it can feel so lonely, and business, I get that totally. So you can join the fun, you really can. If you want to ask questions, if you want to book a consult call, I'll share the link. I have some spaces tomorrow, but don't forget the price goes up on Monday, 8 o'clock, when the retreat ends. So if you are umming and ahhing, why pay more? Just go for it. And if you want to come and ask any questions, chat to me, then that is the link to book yourself on to do so. Right, guys, any further sales questions, post them in the group. If you're watching on the replay, stick them under the video. I can't wait to hear how everyone's getting on. I think what would be a lovely piece of homework, even though it's Saturday, it's a very quick one, is to comment on high ticket offers. Like, what are you going to be bringing out into this world? I can't wait to hear. It's been lovely to hear some snippets from everybody, but I'd love to hear some more details. Lena, my absolute pleasure. Lovely to see everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see everybody 1 o'clock tomorrow for our wrap up day. I can't wait. All the best, everyone. Take care. Bye.